Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix. That's what we're doing today on Ray Plays Guitar. I'm going to do it as simply as possible. This song came out in 1967. Wow, in the 1900s. That's a long time ago. Hey, I was made in the 1900s. Yeah, I can tell. So one of the most important factors of this song is the feel. It's actually a jazz waltz.
What you talking about?
What is a waltz? A waltz is a song in three. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kind of a thing. Where most rock and pop songs are in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. So not only is this a waltz, which has 3 beats per measure, but it also has a swing feel. So it has uneven eighth notes, meaning instead of it being 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and where everything is even, the eighth notes are swung a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So it's uneven. Now you can vary the amount of swing. You can have a really hard swing or you can have a subtle swing. But that's a whole nother topic. But basically, yeah, uneven eighths. Some people call it a triplet feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, da, 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 kind of a thing. But that's the whole feel of this song. And that's something you don't hear a lot of other YouTube instructors explaining or talking about, which kind of surprises me. But that's the added value you get with Ray Plays Guitar. So the main riff. It starts with this open A string, or open 5th string. Then we go up to the next octave up, and I'm playing that on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And then on that same string, I'm just playing this note G.
A whole step lower.
Doing that sort of a thing. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and... Next we start a series of triads. What is a triad? Well, if you take any major or minor chord and reduce it down to its essential parts, you get 3 notes. The 3 notes that make up an A major chord are A, C sharp, and E. Or we can call it the root, 3rd, and 5th. But we're going to play it like this. Well, there's a number of ways we could play it. If we play it all on one string, we have an open A, and then we're playing C sharp on the 4th fret, and then E on the 7th fret. I could play those same 3 notes like this. Putting A here, C sharp here, and then E here. Another way we could play a major triad is like this. I can start with my first finger playing A on the 5th fret. That's the root, and then I'm going to play the 3rd on the same string. 1, 2, 3, 4 frets away, or 2 whole steps away. I'm on the 9th fret, and then I'm going to play the 5th up here. Three different ways of playing the exact same thing, so just keep that in mind. So we're going to play this A triad, followed by a G triad. You can play it like that, or like that, or all on one string. But I think Jimmy's playing it like this. G, sliding up to this B, and then grabbing that note there. Then we're going to do this little pickup note, this note B, 7th fret of the 6th string. And that leads us into this chromatic move from the note D to D sharp to E. And that sets us up to go back to our main riff. Here's that whole section. Next, we have an E major triad. So we're going to start with this open E and access that triad like that. E, G sharp on the 4th fret, and then B on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Going right into a G triad, which we had before, which we could play the same way, or play it like that since we're here. Either way, it's up to you. So E triad into a G triad. Then, so this first part goes between this D, I'm playing on the 5th string, 5th fret, and the C on the 3rd fret of that string. So after we play this D and C, we're going to go between C and B, and then between G and F sharp here on the 6th string. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... It's kind of a weird part, but that's what's happening. And I'll play it slowly one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 3 and that leads us back into 1 2 3. So here we do a chromatic move from D to E, and then we rest for a measure, and then chromatic move from G to A. G, G sharp, A. And that is the intro of the song. Also, right off the bat, they go... The next time around, he does this. Does this cool double stop bend thing, where we're holding one note here on the 2nd string, in this case E, and then I'm bending up starting on this note D on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and I'm using 2 fingers to bend that up, and you get that rub. So the key to this is holding that first finger in place. That was the thing that I struggled with most when I was first trying to learn this. Was keeping that first finger in place. And in my mind, I had to think like, actually going to pull that finger down while pushing these up. And then when I did that, it stayed in place. But do whatever you got to do. Anyway, Hendrix uses this technique. Going into the solo. So that's the rhythm part. Is that riff, and then we have this series of triads. And then that little chromatic move. And then we have that little move there. So that's the cool thing about playing these triads in a arpeggio. An arpeggio is just playing the notes of a chord one by one. And that's what we're doing here. We could play a triad all at the same time. You just take that chord and play the notes one by one, and you are arpeggiating the chord. Ooh, that sounds fancy. Now, I like to use the names of the notes, and if you're not familiar with the names of the notes, well, why not? It's kind of simple, but I can understand how it can be confusing also. And that's why I put together the Ray Plays Guitar Git Note Grid. It's a reference, mini tutorial, and field guide that not only shows you all of the natural notes on the fretboard, but also takes you through step by step how we can wrap our brain around how these notes are laid out across the fretboard. And in no time at all, you're going to know the notes, guaranteed. And for less than the price of a quad venti no-whip mocha, you can get your hands on the Ray Plays Guitar Git Note Grid. Just head on over to rayplaysguitar.com and you'll see the link. And I'll put a direct link down in the description too. But if you've been struggling with learning the notes on the guitar, this is the solution for you. Well, that was my shameless plug, but seriously, it'll help, really. Coffee tastes so much better in this mug. So going into the solo, Jimmy does a series of these moves. First position is here, bending up to the note E, which is the 5th scale degree of A. Then he goes up and does it in this position, playing the note G here on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. G happens to be the flatted 7th in A. Then he goes up and plays it here, first finger on the 12th fret. This note is B, which happens to be the 9th scale degree of A. Then he goes up, plays it up here, first finger on the 15th fret. This note is D. So that's the 11th scale degree. So he's hitting all these extensions. Well, the 5th isn't an extension. That's just a 5th of the chord. But then the 7th, flatted 7th, 9th, then the 11th. Kind of cool. And then after that, he kind of just plays pentatonically, and he kind of plays in a manic sort of a way. And I'm not going to take you through note by note, because it's kind of, I mean, why would you want to try to play a solo like this note for note anyway? I mean, Jimmy wouldn't want you to do that. He'd be like, man, you got to be authentic. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. What this whole existence is all about is finding yourself and being authentic. If you could fake that, you got it made. But I would do this kind of thing going into the solo. And then he goes down and breaks out on the A pentatonic, and then he winds his way back up here, plays A minor pentatonic up here on the 17th fret. But those aren't our only options. With that being the riff that we're playing over, it really leaves it wide open. I could play anything that has a root and a flatted 7th. So minor pentatonic, major pentatonic with a flatted 7th, or kind of a Mixolydian thing, Aeolian, Dorian. We could do Phrygian or Phrygian dominant. That's kind of cool. Let me see if I can demonstrate some of these things. Minor pentatonic first. Mixolydian. Major pentatonic. That was major pentatonic and a little Mixolydian. Whatever. How about Phrygian? Major Phrygian. was Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix in a nutshell. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you found this video helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Share this video with your friends. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. But most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.